There is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Blow wind. Come. Rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back.
In the play Macbeth, Shakespeare inserts social constructs of his time as themes. The themes of Macbeth are nature and the supernatural, violence, fate, ambition, and manhood. Manhood in our society is a term used to represent qualities of a traditional man, a brave, strong, and loyal subject that acts when required to. In the world of Macbeth, the values of manhood are imposed on those who serve the king well, and those who do not are deemed as unmanly.
First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself.
The first encounter of the theme of manhood is in Act 1, Scene 5, when Lady Macbeth says to herself,
"Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fell me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty."
which implies that women in those times were not to take action, as that was the duty of men. The second encounter is in Act 1, Scene 7, where Lady Macbeth is in the process of convincing Macbeth to kill Duncan. Macbeth argues with the traditional qualities of manhood, saying that a real man shouldn't go against his king. She questions his values and tells him that if he does this quote-unquote deed, he will be more of a man.
I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was there that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man.
This distorts Macbeth's view of manhood, with his own at stake. Instead, he is convinced that manhood doesn't require loyalty. Rather, his vision of manhood is reserved to only action and violence, breaking his character as a loyal subject. Unknowingly, this is the trigger occurrence that pushes him to subsequent madness and tyranny.
When Macduff hears the news that his wife and children have been slaughtered, he breaks down and cries. And in a passionate outburst, he says,
"All my pretty chickens, and their dam, in one fell swoop."
Malcolm, naturally disconcerted by this, tells Macduff to control himself, to tell him that real men don't cry.
Dispute it like a man. Oh, I will do so. But I will also feel it as a man.
Macduff here creates a paradox. He says he will feel it as a man. In these times, a man wouldn't be associated with feeling, as a true man would keep it to himself to not burden others or his own duty as a man of action. Yet Macduff says he will feel, which is a woman's action, but he will do it like a man. By this, Macduff means that he will do the actions that are required of a man during his time, kill Macbeth, but his emotions are real, and he says he feels them. This brings up the question, if Macduff can feel like a woman feels, and still be considered a man, what is manhood? If it can be distorted or bent another way to fit the man's agenda, then manhood becomes meaningless. Yet a meaningless code like this can have massive effects if it was to be taken away, such as Macbeth's descent into madness. Every man in Macbeth values this code of manhood as their morals. And if you manage to take that away, if you manage to take all that a man's believed and valued in his life and leave him, he may just do something drastic.